what if all your intrusive thoughts became a reality? Because that really is what OCD is. It's just like constant intrusive thoughts.
All right, guys.
Hey.
Another episode of the Cowboy Shot. We do have a special guest today. You want to say his name?
Yes, I'm going to say it right. Luca Pizzoleo.
There you go. That's good.
go.
That's good. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, great, awesome. All right, Luca, you are a filmmaker, director, writer, editor, and you
Oh, yeah, get the whole spiel out.
yeah, most notably known for your short film, The O.C.D. That was their latest film. It captivated audiences globally, earning over 1 million views on YouTube, which is insane. And some other movies in the theaters don't even do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing.
You also had, within 2 weeks, and amassing 14 million across social media.
Damn.
The film was showcased at prestigious festivals worldwide, including South by Southwest, Sydney, FilmQuest, and Nashville. You have 25 million views online.
That's cool, man.
That's insane.
That's cool.
Wait, so
How do you do that?
which one has the most views?
OCD for sure.
Okay.
OCD.
Yeah,
And on
like-
which platform?
TikTok mainly. So my TikTok,
Oh.
I think total probably has like 22 million views, like total between all the videos. But OCD was the one that I think resonated most with people. Not only I think because Steven is like a big draw, but also I think just generally people really dug the idea.
So on TikTok, do you share clips of the movie or the full length of the show?
No, it's mainly clips, but I think I've been doing kind of social media for like 2 years, so I'm pretty good at like understanding, what's going to connect with people. And so a lot of that is just like watching other videos, seeing what does well, and then kind of like using that in some capacity. So I don't know, I've just been doing it for like
How many like subscribers or followers do you have like across all?
across all over 120,000.
Do you feel like that changes the way people like perceive you on set?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, I'm not a celebrity.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I feel like it does like have an impact. It's like, oh, he has
I
like.
actually read an article that said casting directors are not going to get people that have less than 100,000 followers.
Wait.
As
Actors.
an actor.
I was like, oh, crew too. Damn, we're cooked. Start making your.
Yeah, the grip gotta have 100,000 followers.
I know, right? That's crazy.
So, do you work as a director mainly, or do you have like other gigs that you do like outside of your?
My main focus is directing. So obviously, like being an independent filmmaker, you have to make money in some ways. So obviously, I do camera, like assistant camera work a lot of the times. I'll edit. I don't love editing, but I'm available. And
But you edited this.
I did edit this. It's kind of like one of those things where it's just so expensive to get an editor, and also like I don't know if I trust anybody to do something when it's like it's so close to me. And so it's just one of those things that you kind of have to do. But yeah, mainly directing, and then co-writing or working with writers is what I like doing. But I'm not in love with writing either. So I just kind of want to direct as my main thing.
I see.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Lexi, I didn't even finish your whole spiel yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I was
your
waiting for.
filmography includes Valley of the Moon, a 70s-inspired crime drama that gained a cult following and sparked a viral TikTok trend. What was that trend?
It was so there's a scene in the movie where it's basically about this hitman who visits this real estate agent who used to be in the mafia, and he basically he asks the hitman what he does for a living, and he says, I'm a freelance photographer, and he goes, what do you shoot? And he goes, mainly people. And so that kind of like, I don't know how it happened, but every photographer on TikTok was like, what do you shoot? Mainly people. And then it was all their stuff.
So that it was like your audio that
Yeah,
like
it was
went.
the audio.
Yeah.
It has sparked kind of like this trend. So it's like filmmakers and photographers used it. So it was really cool.
When you direct, do you keep it in the back of your head like, can I make this viral? Or you just only care about the subject matter?
It's a good question. I mean, honestly, I don't think about social media when I'm on set. It's really just about the film, the story. And, I think we get enough BTS footage on set that like later I'll go, okay, let me look through this and see what there is. But generally, I'm not thinking of that. I'm only thinking of the story and the film first.
Right.
What I'm seeing in you is you are really like a trendsetter. You're not going the conventional way of what a filmmaker would do. Kind of wait for your opportunity.
Right.
You're actually making it
Mhm.
like with your audience, and you're gathering like a bluegrass kind of audience that's like they're gonna follow me because of what I like and what I can give them, and it's actually being helpful. It's
Totally.
you got 14 million views on this. not a lot of movies in the theaters are getting that.
I know.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's exactly that is I've always kind of been the type where it's like I'm not going to wait for an opportunity. I'm going to make that opportunity myself. And social media has been insanely helpful at just like getting my work out there, promoting it, getting people to see it. And I think that's where like indie films kind of like live and die is if people can see it.
And the marketing.
That's true.
Totally.
That was one of the reasons why we made this podcast,
Right.
was to get indie filmmakers exposed, show them into a wider audience. Problem is that we don't have a big audience.
Not yet.
Exactly.
No, soon. Yeah.
It's viral.
But I think a lot of filmmakers kind of think like, I can't waste my time on social media. They kind of like look at it as like a lower form of like art or like exposure, which is like the wrong way to think about it. Because then you're not going to have kind of like aces in your pocket if like a studio comes or like a production company comes and asks you like, hey, can you do this? And you're like, I don't know. And then it's like, well, why not? I mean, this is where we're going to give you the lifeboat. We're going to put you in. And it's like, I don't really need that. I have my own boat that I
Right.
with my people.
Right. And I can make my own money
Exactly.
from this. Yeah.
Exactly.
I already have.
Very true. I mean, I was like that initially. I was like, I'm not going to do TikTok. I was like, I'm not doing that stuff. But eventually it's like, it is so insanely helpful.
Yeah.
I've been doing short films and filmmaking for at least like 10 years now. And over that course, I've been to so many festivals and everything. And like most of the festivals, even these festivals that they call like Academy qualifying, like sometimes you just meet like a little shady agent and like, and other filmmakers, which I think is also great. But it doesn't really progress you.
Right.
And then TikTok, it was like the first 2 months or 3 months I did TikTok, I got like 30,000 followers. And then it was like meetings with like actual people in the industry just started like back and forth. It was crazy. So, I mean, the amount of progression that I've had using TikTok, has been just so significant compared to just going the traditional, like do the festivals until you meet somebody. And also, I mean, this film really wouldn't have happened without TikTok, to be honest, because I had met my manager through social media, and then they introduced me to a writer, Connor Patrick Walsh, who wrote the film, and then through Connor we made the movie, and then it's like even getting Steven, like sending that to his agents and being like, we have some traction, like we have these films that people like, and I think that it did ultimately help. So it really wouldn't have been made without TikTok.
Yeah. The audience is out there because someone actually commented on our last video. Asking for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
They're
crazy.
like, they were like, you should get the guy who did the OCD short. And I was like,
We
commented
already
about,
are.
we already got it, brother. Yeah.
Thanks, one guy. I appreciate that. Whoever that is, shout out.
That's crazy. Yeah. So he'll like that. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
Okay.
I think also because back to that point is like so much of Hollywood is about momentum.
Totally.
And then if you see on TikTok, oh, he has this many followers, it's like, oh, already I can see he has
Right.
momentum.
Plus, you have the chops to back it up.
Yeah,
Like, your
I
films are
appreciate
like
that.
awesome. Like,
Thank you.
dude,
Thank you.
Written, directed,
Do you also
edited.
color it too?
No. I get our colorist Ben Chakowski does it. He's unbelievable. I mean, obviously, it's
Beautiful. Yeah.
a great color. It's funny because I got him on my short in the Valley of the Moon. That's where I had met him. I met him through one of the other
At the
actors.
70s.
That's a
what-
70s
yeah,
one. And he came on, and I was like, what do I need a colorist for? I was like, come on, I've been coloring myself.
Yeah.
And then he's like, let me just do it for you for free. I love this movie. Like, I'll just do it for you. And then you tell me if you like it. And it was like
So beautiful.
unbelievable. I was like,
day. Yeah.
whoa, I'm so terrible at coloring. I thought I was really good this whole time. But Ben's amazing.
That's why sometimes because we work in the art department, and
Uh-huh.
when something like doesn't look right, we're like, oh, no worries, we'll have the colorist fix it.
Yeah.
They can't do all miracles.
Yeah.
Tell us about your background
Yeah.
before we start the movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm an independent filmmaker, and I've just kind of been I've been doing this forever, like really ever since I was a kid. I know my mom kind of mentioned to me not that long ago, she was like, ever since you were a kid, you were always like reaching for the camera, always wanting, to like figure it out and like make something with it. And I started really young. I kind of tell this story a lot. So my family's Italian. My mom is from America. My dad's from the country. And so my mom's a little bit more like, you can't watch this. You can't watch that. You can't play this game. You can't play that game when I was a kid. And my dad's just like, I don't care. Like I would just watch anything. It'd be like The Matrix and whatnot. And so every time I was with my dad, we would watch like TCM and like these old movies. I just became super enamored. And as a kid, it was kind of figuring out like, how did they make that? Like that really kind of blew my mind. And there was a magazine in the early 2000s called Movie Magic I believe that was the name, that I just loved. And it was like all the BTS photos, and I was just like, I want to do this immediately from a young age. And so, yeah, long story short, I was making Lego stop motion movies as like a kid, super sick. And then I met Roz Fritz, who's actually the lead in this movie. I met him on Xbox playing Call of Duty.
No way.
Randomly too.
So you just like asked him, "Hey, do you like to act?"
No, so we were in a game, and I could tell we were both kids because we were both like, we had kid voices, and so I was like, oh, he's a kid, and I was like, what school you go to? And he's like, I go to this school, and it was the same school that I went to, coincidentally.
Really?
And so I was like, okay, well,
High school?
no, middle school.
Oh, middle school.
And I was like, dude, let's meet tomorrow at school. And it was kind of like out of Step Brothers, I was like, yo, are you Ninja Beast? And he's like, yeah, are you? And I don't like whatever. So it was so funny, and like we Roz had wanted to be an actor, and we started making skits and like short films, and then it just sort of grew and like snowballed, and now we're at OCD. So that's kind of,
he's great in it.
he's unbelievable. Roz is amazing.
Wait, before we start, can I show?
Oh yeah,
Merch.
Showcase the merch.
please.
I'm a big fiend for merch.
Oh, me too.
We got to start our own merch.
You got to, yeah.
Okay, so did you make this like for film festivals to like pass out?
I do these like crew boxes, and so typically for every movie I'll do a crew box in the style of the movie. And so like for OCD it was like a lunch pail because he works at Scamazon, so I thought it'd be funny to do like a little like Scamazon lunch pail, and inside there was like a Scamazon thermos, a t-shirt, a candy bar that is used in the movie, it's screen used, and like the script and some other stuff. But yeah, for like Frenchman, my last movie is called The Tragic Death of the Frenchman. It was like a mini coffin that we like put it in, and then like before Valley of the Moon, it was like an ammo crate from like the 70s.
I love this.
No, yeah, you can see it on my
So
Instagram.
great with your crew, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love doing it.
Right.
Hell yeah.
No, you have to. You can't make the movie without the crew. So
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, go for
Unboxing.
Let's check it out, Sally.
Okay. Let's see. T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Can I wear it right now?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh wait, who?
That's
Rated
that's the string. It's the
Oh my
string
God,
of doom. Yeah.
Do you ever have a string growing up? Because I know you have OCD, right?
Not, I do have OCD, but I'd never had a string. The string actually comes from Connor, our writer, so that was kind of like one of his like personal things that he kind of held on to for a long time. So it was a funny way to put it in the movie.
Yeah.
But
So the writer Connor, he's the one with OCD, or
we
you
both have
share?
OCD.
I see.
Yeah, and so it was kind of something we bonded over really quickly when we met, and for him and I, when we spoke about OCD, I think a lot of people always think that OCD is just about being like neat and tidy, but really it's about the intention behind like a compulsion. You want to do something, but why do you want to do that thing? It's because if I do this, it's preventing this, and it gives you kind of this like fleeting sense of relief.
I have something like that when like washing fruit in like the sink and one of the like grapes fall down. I'm like, that one needs a brother, so I'll throw him right down.
Yeah.
That guy can't be alone.
Yeah, no,
Too.
it's nice actually. It's like really sweet.
I think it's like an abandonment issue or something.
Yeah.
Dad, please come back if you're watching.
From watching your film, I had realized that OCD wasn't just about the cleanliness aspect, that it goes further to like, oh, if I don't do this, then there's doom and destruction.
Yeah.
I
No,
know that.
definitely. And I think it's a common misconception. So I think in some way, obviously, we made this movie because, Connor pitched the idea. He's like, what if all your intrusive thoughts became a reality? Because that really is what OCD is. It's just like constant intrusive thoughts. And I also think it's a great way to just showcase it. And I think a lot of people who've seen the movie are like, oh, whoa, like I didn't know OCD was actually, it feels like this, Obviously, this is super exaggerated, but, just to give you like an idea of what it feels like. But yeah, totally.
Is that the reason why you had to feel like you had to edit it? Like you had to do it?
I think like one, editors are really expensive.
Yeah.
So, I think that was the first thing. Like this was, I will say this was the first movie that I wanted to edit. So I edited all my other movies, but I kind of just felt like I don't want to do it, but I have to. And I think maybe to that point, in some way, I felt like I needed to actually physically edit the movie. And yeah, but I'm super happy with the way it turned out.
What else you got in there, Sally?
Wait, I gotta wear it. I gotta first show it.
Okay.
The poster designed by
Sick.
Alexander, I can't pronounce his last name, but he's incredible. You can see him on my Instagram. He's amazing.
Shout out Alexander.
Yeah, Steven is in there.
Yeah.
And it's like the shape of the ice cream, and he's
I
pulling
love
it
the
out of his
song at
face.
the end.
Oh yeah, dude.
Put a spell on it.
Did you guys have to pay for it, or did you YOLO
I
just stick it in?
I did have to pay for it. Well, because I think like obviously it was funny. I knew this movie was going to do well festival wise, and so I was like, I need to get the actual rights to the song. And I had a buddy who knew a buddy who owned the song, coincidentally.
Wow.
And yeah, he gave me like a great deal. It was just like confusing. Yeah, it's a great shirt. I love that. Just like one of the crew. Yeah, no, it's great.
That's a great shirt.
But yeah, no, we had to get. It was like confusing because like we went to Australia for South by Southwest Sydney, and so it was like you had to get like the Australia, like
it's all confusing with that like musical.
It's a nightmare.
Was it expensive?
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Let me ask you, how long did you take to make the short from writing it to finally post production?
So I met Connor. I think it was like the first time we had met in person. We had the idea, and then it was like, let's get working on this. And then I'd probably say it was about like 3 to 4 months of actually like working on the script, because we're also planning to make it into a feature. That's kind of our goal, is to turn it into a feature, use the short as a proof of concept. So we spent a lot of time like with these little like note cards, kind of figuring out like how can we expand this further. And then actually shooting it, I think, took about another 4 months, because it was scheduling with Steven was really difficult. But other than that, I think we got it. Honestly, I think we got it done around 6 to 8 months. I can't remember. I'm not really good with time like that. But I know we got it done last year. That's just what we finished at the beginning of last year. I think we started shooting in October 2023.
Can I keep going?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. We got to...
What's up, Noggin? It's the entire script written by Connor Patrick Walsh. Shout out.
Yeah, this is great quality stuff.
Yeah, I made that, and then my dad just helped me cut it because he's like good at cutting stuff. I'm like, I'm not.
It's great.
He's really good. Yeah, now that's my favorite. That thing is awesome. It's the Rocky Road. It's a pin. It's an enamel pin, and that was like I think we got that done at Wizard Pins. I always wanted to get one done, but I love it. It's so sick looking.
And then the chocolate.
Yeah. The candy bar. Yeah, that's the one that's in the movie, and I also designed that. But super fun. I didn't like the back because I actually got it made on Amazon, because they were like, because I didn't know you could do that either. Because I was like, how can I do custom chocolates cheap? And they were like, just upload your artwork. So the back of it isn't my favorite, because they just put that back there. I thought they were gonna do it like nicer with like the nutritional facts and stuff. But anyway.
Cool. Let's start the film, and we could talk about. There's some Easter eggs in there.
Sure. Yeah. Tons. Yeah.
Definitely want to know what those are. I've noticed time.
Yeah.
Big factor in it.
Definitely.
So let's check that out.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2.
No, babe, no, please.
1, 2.
Babe, come on.
1 second, I just need to finish this.
You don't need to do anything, babe.
I know.
Some of the products are switched out.
Yeah, like the ones he's fixing in the beginning, those are called Joe's Canned Sushi. Really disgusting. I also made that.
All of these packaging, you changed out yourself?
No, it's just some of them. Mainly the ones that he's interacting with.
You're right.
That's Amazon. You get that at Amazon?
No. I don't know if they would do that. I forget where I got it, but I got it online. And I made the kind of like logo. That's the same string. There you go.
That didn't leave your pocket for years, but you overcame it.
Yeah, we did. I kind of replaced a bunch of stuff. So she's actually grabbing the canned sushi here as well. But the candle that she lights later on, we made 2 versions of that candle. And one was Hello Hooray, and that was the name of the scent.
Oh.
And that's in the beginning, and it's supposed to be like this Alice in Chains song saying the show's beginning. And then when she goes to strike the match before, what happens, the candle name switches out to Bye Bye Bye, which I thought was fun, but we weren't able to actually use that. Shout out to Sean. Sean's the dad. He's awesome.
Yeah, how was the whole audition process? Where did you find these actors? Like through casting directors or backstage or?
It was mainly through people I knew. So Roz, obviously I know, and then the 2 robbers, I also have worked with them on previous films. Ariel Martin, who plays Anna, I met her through TikTok. So she actually has like a pretty big TikTok following online, and she ended up following me and reaching out, and that's how we got her.
What about the locations?
The location, shout out to Rubel. He's the location manager. Every location I tried to get was like 50 grand. It was actually disturbing how much people want to charge. But he was super nice. We shot a music video. I AC'd for a music video there, and he remembered me and gave us just like an incredible deal on this location. We shot there for 3 days, and then we actually had to come back for like some pickup shot.
Yeah.
And he was super cool about it.
Hell yeah.
That's good.
What about the apartment?
The apartment is Roz's old house, but yeah, we just like dressed it up, you know.
Yeah.
And then these rocky roads, I'll tell you, were a nightmare to make. We had our graphic designer Juliana. She helped me design these because I was like, I don't know how to do like ice cream, and she did a great job. And actually, on the rocky road, you'll see there's a little symbol of Sisyphus pushing a boulder up a hill, kind of like the endless cycle of like constantly pushing something up. And I feel like that really kind of like helps you understand like what OCD in a way. It's a constant push in a battle.
Right.
But yeah, we had to make like 200 ice cream tubs. It was terrible.
200?
So much. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, did you eat all the ice cream inside?
No, it's empty. It was empty. I bought empty ice cream. That would have been crazy.
For OCD, is it like a fleeting thought? Like, as in like not fleeting, but like, is it a momentary thought? Like, oh, it happens in a second, where it's like all the doom.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's almost like if I don't do this thing, like a compulsion that I have, if a compulsion is me to fix like my shoes a certain way, I'll think about it and I go, well, if I don't do that, this is going to happen. And it sort of snowballs. And when you have like a really bad like OCD episode, it feels real. Like it feels like bad things are actually going to happen. And yeah, it's not fun. It's definitely not fun.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we made it funny in this movie.
I'm like, oh, it looks kind of fun.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and so nonchalant.
Doesn't look so good.
Yeah, all the VFX on the text and like the explosion and everything, all that was Sam Kellman, our VFX artist. He's fantastic.
Could be the brain cancer. I did warn you. Sir, could you just...
Their chemistry together is great on camera.
Dude, they're phenomenal. And Steven, he's an amazing actor. So is Roz, but I mean together it was great to watch them work.
When you were in front of Steven and you were like directing him, was it kind of a little surreal moment right there, or?
I think like when I first met him, it was really cool because I've been a fan of his for a really long time, and so it was cool to like meet him and whatnot. But I think we had met like 4 or 5 times prior to this, and we really worked on the character and whatnot. So when he came to set, I felt really comfortable with him, and I didn't feel any like nerves or anything. He's just like the nicest guy. I mean, he's the type of guy where it's like he came on set and he's shaking everyone's hand and, you know, being nice to every individual crew member and giving them the time of day. I bought that outfit on Amazon. I did not own that.
So the time, you know, it's appearing, it's also like moving around. It's not just saying it's 11:11, like Fox 11.
Yeah. No, definitely numbers play a big stake. Even like that matchbook La Luna, it like symbolizes. I'm gonna butcher it, but it's a tarot card, and it kind of symbolizes what you're seeing isn't real.
Right,
Almost
like
like
dream.
God. Or shit.
Wait, what was it about candles that triggered you again?
And that was actually kind of another thing. So when she lights the match, the stove is on, but it plays into the fact that OCD is really irrational. Like, even if, like, for instance, for me, like, I hate the garbage disposal. You could have the power off, but it's like, I still think it's going to, like, tear my hand apart, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of the same here where it's like, the stove is already on, the house would have already blown up,
Right.
and she lights the match, but it kind of plays into the fact that it's just, like, so irrational, and it's not, you know, it doesn't base itself in reality a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm. Did you storyboard for this, or you had it like in your head that?
We shot listed really strategically because we had 3 days in the market, but we had to wait till night, so it was like a full night shoot, and typically, you know, by the end of a night shoot, everyone's like exhausted. So I knew that, like, yeah, we had 12 hours, but really we probably had 8 hours where everyone was like 100%. So we shot listed and made sure, like, I went to the market multiple times and I was like, this is where he's going to fall, this and that. But we didn't storyboard. Yeah, sorry, buddy, mom died. I think that's my favorite.
I think so. I don't what a douche.
I know. Our music guy, Alexander Arnson, he was like, dude, that's my favorite moment. And he's like, I don't think anyone's going to like that. He's like, that's really dark. But everyone loves it, which is so funny.
I like that you didn't try to change out all of the logos.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a lot of...
Yeah.
I think, like, a part of it, yeah.
Other productions we worked on wanted to change out every single logo.
Because they're scared they'll get sued. But I read something that you could keep the logo on the product.
Yeah.
If it's just used as what the product's supposed to be used.
Right, yeah. I've heard that as long as, like, you're not interacting with it in, like, a way, like, if he's not, like, picking up a box of, you know, a cereal brand, like Cheerios, and, like, eats them, then maybe, I don't know. I have no idea how this stuff works. I mean, I haven't gotten in trouble yet, so I guess we'll see.
Watch out. Yeah, but you switched out the logos for the things that he's touching. But
I stick with things he's touching, and also because I wanted them to kind of have, like, some significance to what he's interacting with. So, like, even, like, the ice cream, there's a bunch of, like, little Easter eggs, like, on the, you know, the label and everything. I'm just kind of, like, methodical like that with a lot of stuff.
Well, but the ice cream, I followed my compulsion.
Yeah? You fixed that. What about the rest of this mess?
Wait.
Those are the uh-oh.
Wait, what do I do?
There's nothing you can do, soldier.
Where is this gas station?
This one is in North Hollywood. So it was funny because the owner, like, closed it, but people still kept trying to come in. And, like, there's people, like, yanking on the door and like, yo, can you give me, like, some cigarettes? I was like, I don't work here. Yeah, no, it's in North Hollywood. It's a great location though. Like, I love the lights on the ceiling.
yeah, the thing that
It looks amazing. That's Ryan, Emilio Molina, and Landon Moss. They're a hilarious duo.
Hey, you work for Scamazon? Yeah.
it's very true. They sometimes don't bring your package.
Oh, dude, it's too many times.
So many times. I'm still waiting for a NATO rail.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's how long it's been.
I still ain't got that bitch. You know how dirty my ass is right now? Hey, I know you. And you that racist. What? No.
I love this whole bit. Connor, yeah, we, like, tied it all in, even with, like, the TV, like the racist scam on employee spotted. It's just so funny.
Viral. No, I'm not even like that. It's really not even me in the photo. You racist piece of shit. Piece of shit.
Is it supposed to feel like you don't know what's real?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, and that kind of goes back to my point about, like, the match and the stove, and even Roz Owen, he drops his phone when he trips over the candy bars, but yet when we cut to this next scene, he has his phone again with him, and again when he's kind of having that moment of panic after Steven leaves, and it's the close up of his face, his nose isn't bleeding anymore. And so I kind of added these, like, intentional, like, continuity errors just to showcase that you don't really know what's real. So if you kind of pick up on it, it's intentional to be, you know, like, what you're seeing isn't real.
Right.
How big was your crew?
It was small. I think, like, probably total, like, with actors included, probably 10 or 11 people, like, with the actors. Yeah, we had our DP Jeremy Bassett, and Shul was our gaffer, and then our sound mixer, and then Angie Shelmar, who did our makeup, and that was basically it.
Wow.
And my co-producer, Bridget Sonabe, who was on set as well.
That's very small. Do you work better with a smaller crew? I think it's just easier to contain.
I do. I like smaller crews for a lot of reasons. I think one of them is, like, you don't have to spend as much money keeping people on set, so you kind of have more time in the space. And also, I think there is such a thing as too many cooks in the kitchen, where it kind of, it's like a shot shouldn't take this long to set up.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, another little fun one is he's got a pin on his vest that says, "I reject your reality." I love Olivier. Olivier is the cashier. He's also in our last movie, The Tragic Death of a Frenchman. You guys should check that out. He's hilarious.
We'll definitely check that out, yeah.
So you like to keep working with the same actors?
I do, yeah. I think if I find people who I like and we work well together, I'd like to keep that around.
Do you keep them in mind while you're writing?
Sometimes. For this one, we didn't keep really anyone in mind. It was more so just even for Owen, we casted publicly, and I put a public audition on Actors Access and stuff. And I had Roz audition for Owen, even though I've known Roz for like 15 years. I just kind of wanted to see what he could do with it. And also another thing is Roz also has OCD, which is funny.
Wow.
So it was kind of like this like trio with like, messed up people. But it was this trio where like I we had some fantastic auditions from a lot of people, but I think Roz just personally connected to the material and it made sense. But yeah, other than that, it's just like I do really like working with similar people for sure.
I think that's also probably why it did so well, is because all of you guys connect with the material.
Totally. I think everyone's so passionate about it, and so everyone, I think, is just doing such a phenomenal job. Like even...
This is my pocket, by the way.
You're going to keep him forever.
OCD.
Just so that I can feel part of the crew.
Yeah.
What'd you have for Crafty? I like to ask that question.
That's a good question. What do we have?
Whatever's in the store.
We had we're just like kids shut out the show.
You want.
We had coffee, which was great, and then why am I blanking? Mendocino Farms. We had Mendocino.
Oh, yeah, it's fire.
And something I'm trying to think. This was like a year ago.
Right.
Yeah, I think we had Mendocino. I think one night, if I remember, we had In-N-Out. I couldn't remember, which In-N-Out's always easy. If everyone like is able to eat it, then I think
it's a smaller crew, so you don't have to feed that many heads.
No, yeah, it's simple. But I like to get something that's like decent, for sure.
What camera did you use? Because I know you told us off camera.
Yeah, I used the Sony A7S III, and I've honestly used that for all my movies. So if you go back to like In the Valley of the Moon or even like Tragedy of the Frenchman, they're all shot in A7S III, and my DP is he's so great at pulling like a solid image out of these cameras, and we got sponsored through my TikTok with Sue-Ray, and it was funny, they sent me an email because my DP was like, we should rent some Sue-Ray lenses. And I was like, dude, I don't think I have the money to rent like anything.
Yeah.
And they ended up emailing me and saying, hey, we want to do a TikTok sponsorship. We want to send you a $30 tripod. And then I was like, okay, would you guys be cool?
Tripod.
Would you guys be cool?
Wait, $30?
Yeah, it was like a $30 tripod. And I was like, okay, would you guys be cool sending me like $4,000 of lenses? And they were like, yeah. And they just sent it, and they let us keep them. And so shout out Sue-Ray. It was
shout out Sue-Ray.
Unbelievable.
One of yours now.
Great lens company.
Great lens.
And it looks great in the movie.
We're gonna hit them up after this.
Yeah.
On your end of the bargain, was it just like posting a TikTok using it, like a behind the scenes kind of thing?
Yeah, I made like kind of like a dedicated TikTok talking about like how to achieve like a higher quality like movie quality stuff, like get that anamorphic look for like a cheaper price.
Right.
Because I wouldn't call the Sue-Ray anamorphics, like I think they're the 133X. I wouldn't call those cheap, but they are definitely like more affordable than like, a lot of these like prime anamorphics that are like $3,000-$4,000, and they still look great.
Yeah, they look awesome.
Oh, we gotta get our TikTok on.
I know.
We gotta
sponsorships.
Increase our whole social media outlook and everything.
Like what your strategy is. What is the social media strategy?
It's a secret. I can't quite.
It's the secret sauce.
No, I don't know if I have like a specific strategy. I think it's like I said, after I finished the movie, I kind of went back and looked through it, and our co-producer, who's also my girlfriend, Bridget Sonabe, she took so much BTS like footage that I was like, okay, let me look through this. And there's a bunch of stuff that I'm like, I know that's going to do well. I know that's going to do well. I think it's just one of those things that it's like when you're on TikTok for long enough, you know what's going to connect with the audience. I guess just like making like engaging content that within the first 5 seconds is going to make someone want to stay. And also, if I know a lot of people like push their videos to like over a minute because that's what you get paid for on TikTok. If your video is over a minute, if it's not over a minute, you don't get paid. So some people push for the videos, but I would say if you feel like the video is not there, like don't extend it, like try and make it the most engaging piece of content. Okay. And I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe like I'd probably take a look back at my own TikTok and figure out what my strategy was, because it's kind of different for every movie. And I had a editor named Harv Scholes, shout out, he's amazing. He put together like a lot of really cool clips, because I kind of had some ideas of like, oh, what would be a good video is what people think OCD is like versus what it feels like, and then it kind of like cuts through all like the crazy stuff in the movie. And kind of like make for the festivals, we did a bunch of devoted videos for like South by Southwest and Nashville. So it's, I don't know, I guess just maybe look at my TikTok and then I think you guys can figure it out. Yeah.
Do you think that your knowledge of TikTok and like knowing what goes viral kind of helped you with like writing the next like this film?
I don't think I ever think about it when I'm making a movie.
Yeah.
The movie kind of comes first. TikTok is like last. I mean, really, ideally, I would never want to do TikTok again. Not saying that I don't love TikTok, but it's like my passion doesn't lie in like creating social media content. So when we're making a movie, it's only about the movie. I never really think about TikTok. I'm never like, oh, this is gonna look so great for me, you know. But like, it's not to say that it's a bad idea to have someone on set to keep that in mind, because I think that's what my girlfriend was doing. Is she was like, oh, this will be a great shot, you know, and I'm not thinking about it because I'm just focusing on the movie.
True, yeah.
So if you can have someone to help you with that, I think that's great. But yeah, when I'm writing or when I'm working with Connor, who's our writer, it's just about the story. That's it. You know, it's not about putting anything in there. I mean, we were a little like making the movie. There were certain things we're like, we're not sure if this is even going to land or like do well at festivals, because like some of the jokes in here, are they going to land with the festival? And like surprisingly they did. But we have kind of always said that even if the movie didn't do well and it only got 5 views or 10 views or whatnot, and it didn't get into any festivals, it's okay, because we're happy with it at the end of the day. It's something that we wanted to make, that we felt the need to make. And that's really all that matters, I think.
Yeah. I think that's how you got your audience, is the genuine like outlook with filmmaking. It's like you're so busy with doing the film and everything, and people want to see that. And the people that are just like focusing on like, this is just going to be a great TikTok of me working on film.
Right.
It seems ungenuine.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, the reason I ask is because we always want to like make behind the scenes of us in art department, but then exactly like you said, like when you're on set, you're like not
focusing.
about it. And then at the end of the day, we're like, what videos did we make?
Yeah.
What videos can we make?
You're kind of like, oh, we missed out on our opportunity to get.
And all we have is like reset photos. And
Totally.
like, well, can't make a TikTok out of that.
No, it's true. I mean, when we did Frenchman, it was a shoot. Like we made that movie for like honestly like $3,000. It was nothing, and we were in this house for like 3 days. It was my buddy's apartment, and when you watch a movie, you'll see the apartment in the beginning. I set dressed the entire thing, and I have a buddy at Warner Brothers who like let me borrow a bunch of furniture from their property department. And we basically built out the whole apartment, and then we closed all the windows and blacked them out, because they're basically like all smoking weed. And so I had them smoke like parsley. And so it was like this 3-day just like event of us shooting for like 10 hours of them just like constantly ripping like parsley joints and parsley bongs and just like making ridiculous jokes. And then there's no BTS of like any of it, you know, because we didn't have anyone on set. So I think like in hindsight, I was like, God, I wish we had somebody. But then again, it was like, I was so happy in the moment. I'm not going to focus on that stuff when I'm there.
Exactly. Let me ask you, how much was the budget for OCD?
Sure. Yeah. OCD we basically finished everything for sub 15 is where we were at, because the market alone was like a massive portion of our budget. A lot of the actors and a lot of like crew members wanted to just work on the project. And I think for me, I never expect crew or cast to work for free. I just don't. That's just not how I operate. I want to give them something. Some of them are adamant and like, no, like seriously, don't pay me.
Wow.
And typically that's also why I do the crew boxes, because if I can make the crew boxes, then it's also a nice way of like, okay, you know, giving back. Even if I can't pay you your full rate, some of them took like, you know, discounted rates. And so we were able to get everything done for around sub 15. And then I think we did spend a few extra $1,000 on like the festivals and like having to do like the DCP and whatnot. Which is like not fun, but it's cool. Yeah.
Did you raise the funds?
We did. We were able to do GoFundMe, and through the TikTok, it was. I mean, it's funny because when we made the GoFundMe, I initially put the budget at like 5,000 or something, and I was like, dude, we're never gonna get 5,000. Like, there's no way we're gonna get 5,000. And then we got like 6,000, and then eventually 7,000, and then 8,000. And then we actually had some independent people outside of GoFundMe give us money. And so I think altogether we raised probably around 10 to like 13,000 for the movie. But yeah, I didn't go like super hard on like the, you know, promoting I just kind of put it out there, and it was really sweet. So like, thank you to everybody who donated, because really we couldn't have made it without them, because that market is expensive, even though it was discounted.
I think the hardest part about making films is that block in your head saying, no one's going to support this. No one's going to want to do that. No one's going to go for that rate. And if you get that out of your head and you just sent that email out, or you get those lenses because you just replied back to it saying, "No, I'll do this."
You never know.
You never know. Someone will reply back to you and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it for you."
Yeah.
Totally.
And
I mean,
that's the whole
you
thing.
are your worst enemy. Like at the end of the day, it's like you stop yourself from doing things. There's been so many things where I'm like, this isn't gonna go well. You know, it's even like at the festivals. We at like our first screening, we like premiered at LA Shorts. I was like, dude, everyone's gonna hate this shit, man. Like, I was like, I don't even want to go. You know, and then it was like OCD got like the biggest applause, and like when I went up and introduced myself, like everyone like started cheering, and I was like, whoa, like okay, you know. And I mean, I think in some way it's helpful because you're never disappointed because you're like, it's never going to work out. But I think as long as you shoot your shot, that's what's important. Like, don't get in your head enough to not shoot your shot. But I do shoot it, and then I go, okay, that's never happening. And then if it happens, it's a pleasant surprise.
We should adopt that mindset because we're like, oh, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. We should at least do it and then go like, well,
do it, and then that's never going to work.
You have any like film recs or show recs or something that you're watching right now that you're enjoying?
Okay, like movie recommendations. Let's see. Okay, Paper Moon.
Paper Moon, yeah,
I love Paper Moon. That's one of my favorites. Can I pull up my letterbox?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm so bad at like remembering
no,
stuff.
same.
I'll say what I'm watching now, show wise. I'm watching Severance. So I'm rewatching Severance because my girlfriend hasn't seen it, and so I was like, I'd need you to see Severance. Have you guys seen it?
We watched
the first season. Of it.
Dude, the ending is.
Is it okay? Maybe we should go back.
Oh, dude, the ending is so good.
Wait, was my laundry going on at the same time?
Oh, great. The audio should be fine.
Yeah, these are some of my favorites. I love Tokyo Drifter, which is great. Seconds, which is a John Frankenheimer film. So cool. Like honestly, one of the coolest sci-fi movies from like I think it's like the 60s. So sick. Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, I just saw that a couple days ago. I love Cool Hand Luke.
I saw it at the New Bev.
Yeah.
And for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I was like blown away by it. I was like, I can't believe I haven't seen this movie.
It's so amazing.
Isn't it?
50 eggs.
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite. Let's see. I'll give you a couple more.
Oh, look at me, knucklehead.
Yeah. Dude, he's the best.
He's the best.
He is.
Oh, he makes us so angry though.
No, I thought he was great, man. He's a great actor.
I love the.
But okay, I'll give you like three more. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Nacho Libre is so good. And John de Florette.
You already got the hair going.
I know. John de Florette is probably my favorite French movie.
Okay.
Unbelievable, and it's technically a two-parter. So you watch John de Florette and then Men on of the Springs. That's if you want to cry, it's a beautiful
Love
movie.
A good cry movie.
My recommendation would be Sexy Beast.
That's
Hell
great.
yeah.
That's great.
Watch Sexy
Tangerine.
Beast, guys. I love that one. It would have been Cool Hand Luke, but
Yeah.
I just saw it recently too. I love that. What about you, Sally? I'll put you on the spot.
Mine are always stupid. Like
No, there's nothing.
Barbie Swan Lake.
Barbie Swan Lake.
That's cool.
Check out Barbie
Barbie Swan Lake. That's awesome.
But
I've never seen it, but that's cool.
Shrek number 2.
Shrek number 3, yeah. Great.
House Moving Castle, of course.
House Castle's great, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we like to do this sort of thing. You pick out
Cool.
a little film there and it has a question
But I have so many more
from our
questions.
200 subscribers.
Okay, let's see. Well, how many do I pick? Do I
You just pick one.
Just
You can pick as many as you want. There's no rules here.
Okay, I'm gonna just pick 2.
Yeah, that man.
I'm looking at this one and that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Do I just pull it?
Yeah, pull it, and then there should be a question attached to it.
Sometimes it's a little hard. There you go.
If you could swap lives with any character from a movie for a day, who would it be and why? Jordan Belfort. Right?
Oh yeah,
Dude, what? That's so sick, dude. Like,
Actually, yeah.
like, dude, that's insane.
That's actually a great one.
Yeah, that's the first
Wait,
thing.
you gotta keep the money.
You would do it differently.
No, I would be good. Like, I would stop. Like, he doesn't stop. I would stop and enjoy it. But
you get money, yeah.
Okay, and then let's see. If you could watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's hard.
And you can only watch this one movie?
Forever.
I guess that's what it says in the thing.
That is what it says.
That's what we wrote.
I
Torture.
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the
Singing
Rain.
in the Rain. Because I think it's one of those movies that it's so. It just makes me
It's
happy.
uplifting.
Yeah, and I don't even like musicals, to be honest with you. But I love Singing in the Rain.
Have you seen Babylon?
Dude, I love Babylon.
Yeah.
I actually thought Babylon was great. I think very underrated movie. And I'll give you a funny story. Roz Roz and Ryan. Ryan plays the robber, one of the robbers, and Roz and Ryan are both in the Valley of the Moon and Frenchman as well. when we were shooting in the Valley of the Moon, they got to be extras in Babylon. And it was funny because when they got to set, I was telling Ryan, I was like, hey, Ryan, we're shooting in a week. You cannot shave your beard. Like, because his beard was meant for In the Valley of the Moon. And he texted me on set and he's like, hey, dude, they're making me shave my beard. And so we ended up taking advantage of it. And if you watch the movie, you'll see he has this old photo of him. And that's what we did with that. And then it was like a week later, Raz and Ryan were like, hey, Luca, we got on Babylon again, like as extras again. I'm like, really? I was like, please don't shave again, but that's cool. And they went back, and I think I'm not even kidding, they got on the movie like 3 or 4 times. So if you watch a movie, I mean, you're not going to see him. It's hard.
Okay, wait. Okay, so one of them was like, he's running in the field as a soldier, right?
They're both, so they were both soldiers. They also did. They were behind Margot Robbie, directly behind Margot Robbie in the theater scene when it pulls out. So if you watch a trailer, you can see them behind her. And then Ryan's in like a party scene, and then they walk in front of the theater. They're in the movie like 10 times. Like, it's actually kind of ridiculous, but it's super funny. Yeah.
I remember I was on set. It was actually, we were like in a van driving up to set to Lancaster, and we were talking about movies that were recently released, and one of them was Babylon, and the driver didn't like it.
I also think
it didn't do that well.
Society plays a role, because I think if everyone says they don't like a movie, then some people going into a movie are already going, well, I'm not going to like it, and I don't like it. So I think some people do formulate that opinion, and I think that works reverse, because there's some like movies that everyone's like, this is the best thing I've ever seen, and then it's
Long Legs.
Okay, you know, which one?
Long Legs.
Well, yeah, but incredible marketing, I will say. That was one thing. If there's one thing to take away from that movie, that marketing is phenomenal.
I recommend Exorcist 3.
Exorcist 3? I haven't seen that.
Love that. That's a great one. The dialogue in there is amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I haven't even seen the first one, which
You haven't seen the first
that's a sin, I know.
Oh,
it's not
crazy.
I haven't watched it either, the first one.
Oh my, what am I doing this movie podcast by myself?
I should get out. Now I love William Friedkin. He's great. I just saw it To Live and Die in LA.
Oh,
Have you seen that?
no, I haven't seen
It's like impossible to find, but it's finally on Amazon Prime. I had to go. I bought a Blu-ray of it because you cannot watch it anywhere. And then the next day after I bought the Blu-ray, it was on Amazon Prime.
That's how they get it. Damn scammers on.
Yeah, I know they scammed me again. Like,
Here you go.
but
Bought the Blu-ray on Amazon.
Wait, what was it called? In the...
To Live and Die in LA.
Oh, I was not even close to the... Yeah.
That's a great movie. I was recommended that from a buddy of mine, Anthony. He's from the Raiders of the Lost podcast, and he told me, he was like, that is like one of the most stylish LA movies, because I love a good LA movie. And it's true. It's awesome, like really awesome. So like any LA movie, I'm also like a big fan of, like Heat.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Like, dude, great. Fantastic. I saw that live in concert. That was sweet.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool.
With the live
It was the live orchestra with Justin Horowitz. It was...
Oh, that's awesome.
The music was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Damien Chazelle fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, on a down note, how do you feel about the industry right now?
Oh, yeah.
It's a tricky industry. Like, I'll say
tricky,
it's a tricky... To become a filmmaker, to want to be an artist in any field is like incredibly scary, you know, because there is no blueprint, especially for being a filmmaker. There's really no blueprint. Like, you can't just go to film school and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, then you can direct your feature. It's like a lot of it is this catch-22 where it's like, okay, if you want to get a manager, you have to direct stuff. But if you to direct stuff, you need a manager to put you in contact with those people. But to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just kind of like give and take, and it's really difficult. So you do kind of have to like carve your own path. So I think for me, the industry it's been the same. It has been where it's like I'm just trying to break in terms of the state of like movies and stuff. I mean, I do think it would be great to see more original concepts and more like independent films. But I do think there is kind of a rise of that coming. And there is some pretty great like independent movies that I've seen come out lately. So I just think as long as it keeps in that like track, then I'm happy with it. But it's just like about figuring it out, you know. And it's tricky. It's hard.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, it doesn't help with the fires and no movies being made in LA, or
it's hard to shoot here.
Yeah,
it's like
it's really hard.
That's one thing I'll say is LA needs to stop being so difficult to shoot in. That's one thing. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's like we should keep it here, and
make it crazy. Just like
totally.
Film anywhere. Just do it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And when I was like 15, Roz and I wanted to shoot in this church, and it was this tiny little church. It's called the Little Brown Church. Like, it's tiny. And I went there and I was like, hey, this is a cool location. Can I shoot in here? And they were like, yeah, you can shoot in here, but it's $5,000.
And you're 15.
And I'm like, well, I'm 15. And they're like, we can tell. But they're like, you're using our likeness, or you're using our, brand or whatnot.
Yeah.
Really ridiculous. And they do, so many businesses have done that, which I'm not going to call them out, but like,
no, call them out. Come on.
yeah, I mean, I guess I did call it a church. It's a very nice church, nice people, but it's like, you live here, and so
Yeah.
I think people expect it's like you're gonna make a movie here, so you have the money to make a movie. And so if you want to shoot here, it's like a lot of these business owners are like, oh yeah, it's LA, so they have a lot of money, which is just not the case.
Not the case.
It's so difficult, but you meet some incredible people, and that's why I think it goes back to just like asking. Like we shot at Mel's Diner, they let us shoot there for free one time. In like a really old movie of mine, and even just like a lot of locations, even for OCD and Frenchman and Valley, a lot of that was just asking, because obviously there is a lot of those people who are like, yeah, it's like $20,000, to shoot here. But then there's some people who are like, that's awesome. Like, I would love to help you out. So I think it's always about asking.
My biggest takeaway from talking to everyone who's been on our podcast is that just ask, because you never know.
And locations are expensive. That's the
locations are expensive.
It's always the thing that.
So is music.
Yeah.
Music is expensive.
We can ask how much it would cost you.
To the music?
Yeah,
I'll be upfront. Look, I'll be upfront about it. The music was $1,200 to get the rights to the actual song for the United States, and then to get the rights to Australia was $800. So it was $2,000, which I just paid for out of my own pocket, because I was just like, we used the budget for the movie. To be fair, it is a very popular song. So like, I think some indie artists, like, you can hit up, and I've done that before, where they're like, yeah, I don't care, you could use my song. Or sometimes you can reach out to a recording label, and they will let you do it as long as you tell them it's just for festivals. Because to secure the rights for YouTube, that's a different story, because you can monetize that.
Yeah.
And so like OCD isn't monetized, which I got some comments. Some people were like, yo, like, why is there like 3 advertisements on this film? And I'm like, I have no idea, because it's not monetized.
YouTube Red.
Yeah. No, I know.
Oh, wait, no. Was it YouTube Red? Is that what it's called?
That doesn't even exist anymore.
I think so. I don't know. YouTube TV.
YouTube. Yeah. YouTube Plus, whatever.
But no, it is, you have to ask. Steven, I was like, that's never going to happen. Steven's not going to read it, And I sent the email, it was like 3 days later. His manager was like, Steven loves it. And like, he's really enthusiastic about the story. He's seen your movies. He likes you. He wants to meet you. And it's like, and if I didn't send that movie, or if I didn't send that email, like, we wouldn't have made this movie.
I wonder if Steven has OCD.
Yeah, he's
just not related to it. Is everybody on the film has OCD?
Is there anything about our house that is OCD triggering?
No, I don't think. But see, that's kind of the thing, is like OCD. It's not about. There's some people who are, I guess, you could describe as like being messy, and they have OCD. It doesn't always revolve around cleanliness. Like, some people obviously have like OCD where it's like contamination, where it's like, I don't want to shake your hand. I need to wash my hands after I touch everything. Exactly how you're gonna know. But in terms of like, being in a space, I think most people who have OCD, unless it's like a severe form of a certain type, you're typically fine in a space. It's just sometimes you get a compulsion about like a certain object or thing. And I think for me, a lot of those times it's been like in my own personal space. It's never typically in like other people's space. Sometimes it is, but it's not. I'm not yet, like, I mean, maybe let me stay here.
We were gonna put one gummy in the
that would have freed.
bowl of pretzels.
I don't think that's OCD. That's just like crazy. Like, that's like insane.
It's annoying at that point.
You put chocolate in your popcorn?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
M&M's in my popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What do you think about this statement? That OCD is just the Western version of feng shui.
Oh,
that's actually, it's poetry right there.
Yeah, that's funny. Feng shui is like, the vibe of a room, right? Like
certain furniture has to be facing a certain way.
Maybe in some way. I think with OCD, it's more about like having like intrusive thoughts. Because like, even going back to the short, it's like Owen is like, okay, I want to fix this ice cream, because if I don't, my mom is gonna die and my girlfriend's gonna explode. So I don't think feng shui is like, oh, the couch needs to go here, or like everyone I know.
It's about the energy. Like, you're inviting bad energy.
In some way, I guess you could connect it in some way. I'm not like versed in it, but that's cool.
Wait, I didn't think you answered the time. So 11:11.
Yeah.
Jumping of time. What was that all about?
So like kind of angel numbers and those sorts of things. Like, a lot of people, even with like OCD, you can sometimes you look for like signs, and it's like you'll see something where it's like sometimes like I'll hear a song and like I'll listen to the lyrics and it'll kind of like freak me out a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to listen to that because like what if it's like talking about me, you know what I mean? And what if I'm like inviting like this bad energy in? But with 1111, like Owen's girlfriend Anna, she's this like TikToker, and I think like with a lot of like young people, they're really into like that, like 333, make a wish, and so we kind of played with that.
Chloe does that all the time. She'll text me 1111. Be in the bathroom like taking a douche, and she'll be like 1111. I was like, okay, start like praying.
Yeah, no, it's funny because ever since I was never really that way, but ever since we made the movie, sometimes I'll see like 1111. I'm like, oh damn, like
it's a sign.
Yes, it's a sign. But yeah, we were pretty intentional with like putting it all around, like even on the the news, which you saw. Which is also, I haven't mentioned this anywhere, but on the news, on the ticker box, there's an Easter egg for Frenchmen. So if you watch Frenchmen and you finish that, you can go back and look at the ticker box. It kind of
Is it also on YouTube?
It is on YouTube. Yeah, it mentions what happens at the end of that movie. Which
it's your own universe. Rule the universe.
Yeah. I'm trying. But yeah, no, we were super intentional with like putting 11 as much as we could in like certain places, and like, and if we could, if it wasn't 11, then it was like 333 or something else. And so like even in Anna's apartment, there's some posters that are like 333 and whatnot. But even the length of the movie is 12:12. I wanted to get the movie to 11:11. We tried really hard. It just wasn't possible. But that would have been great if I could.
Yeah, someone commented. I looked at your comments.
Yeah,
it ended on 12:12.
Yeah. No, no, it's cool. Some of the comments are great, man.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, but it's also again about OCD. So I don't know if we want to keep hitting the nail on that one. But my question was, hey, give me that. What did I write? I wrote, what is the evolutionary benefit of OCD? Okay, so Kristen, I was talking about this recently with ADHD with my brother, and then he said like ADHD has an evolutionary benefit in that like you're not focused on one thing. So and back then you had to like be aware of your surroundings and aware of everything.
Right.
Is there something like that with OCD?
Okay. That's a tough one. I don't know.
No.
I guess like I think in some way a lot of times like OCD, it's almost like it's trying to be helpful in a way. Like it feels like you're preventing things, but I don't know if there's like if it goes to like evolutionary benefit. But I think there is a way to think of OCD, whereas like you have these compulsions, and like if you really think about it, like what you're preventing aren't like bad, like you're preventing like bad things. So it's almost like it's trying to help in a way, but it just gets in the way of everything, and it's like. Yeah, I don't know if there's I think there's not, right? Like I think like I mean like I remember like I was having like a really bad like intrusive like episode when I was in Australia, and it was just like not enjoyable, like to even like be on, like I was on a plane and like it just wasn't fun, and then it's like it kind of like hampers your day, in a way. But that's what doing like therapy and stuff and whatnot is for, is to like work on that, and exposure therapy too, is like, if you're like, oh, if I don't move that, like my mom's gonna die, and then if you don't move it and your mom doesn't die, hopefully, then you can kind of work through it a little bit, little by little. It's difficult, but yeah, that's how it is. Yeah,
totally.
Okay, where can they find you, Luca?
Yay!
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all it. Luca Pizzoleo, Pizzoleo. Tricky name, but you can find me anywhere.
Find him, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Luca, for having us.
Having us.
Yeah. You're welcome. Welcome to my home. Yeah. Now get out.
No, but thank you so much, man. We really enjoyed your movie. I love your movie.
And we enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you. Me too. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. This was great.
Peace out, guys. Check you out next time.
Later.